And welcome back to the channel. Here, everybody, welcome back to this FIU Dynasty Rebuild here. Back to the channel, Lucas Johnson with ya, and this is the Year 1 finale here of this first season for your FIU Panthers. We go into this game 3-8 on the year overall as a whole, finally coming off of our first conference win in this series here, and our first win in 6 games. We were on a 6-game losing streak. That losing streak is over. Now, can we build some momentum here a little bit and end the season on a high note, end the season on a winning streak, the first one of the franchise that we're trying to accomplish here in this game when we're facing 5-6 Middle Tennessee State here. And, you know, look at our record. We started off the year 2-2 this year, actually, and we just kind of hit a downturn and a downspin once we hit conference play this season. We really struggled in our conference games, and a couple of these were pretty winnable. I mean, Louisiana Tech, that was a game we could have definitely won. UTEP, our offense fell totally flat in that one. Sam Houston, we had to rally from behind. We could have won that one probably. Could have put a lot better against New Mexico State. And, I mean, our defense really struggled against Jacksonville State. And the last episode, it was a really fun game, actually. Our best game of the season, most entertaining game of the season against Middle Tennessee State, that 38-31 victory that we had. And you look at Middle Tennessee State, and, well, their season could not have started off worse. I mean, they were 0-5 to begin the year, including a loss to an FCS school. So, really bad start for them. Then they played Ole Miss. I mean, that's a good team that they lost to there. Then they played Western Kentucky, lost by 6 to them. Got absolutely steamrolled by Duke, who's only 4-7 this year. 54-0 blowout loss in that game. And then they played Memphis, who, I mean, they got killed by them, but Memphis is 11-0. So, I guess that is an okay loss. But, yeah, 0-5 going into conference play. And when I saw that record on the schedule, I thought this was going to be probably one of the easiest games of the year. But then they won 4 of their last 5, or 5 of their last 6 games here, actually. And they only have 2 losses here, or they have 2 losses here in conference. One of those was to Jacksonville State, and the other was early on in their season. But yeah, they are on a 3-game winning streak right now, and they're playing their best football here at the moment in this point of the season right at the end, and they're legitimately have a shot here to, not only make a bowl game this week for them at 5-6, but also to potentially try and go for the conference title. I mean, they're kind of in the mix right now with a few other teams, including Liberty and Jacksonville State and a couple of those other teams there in that mix for the conference championship. But if they win this game, I don't really know how the math would shake out. They might need some help, but they could potentially sneak into that conference championship game. So, big game for them here. This is one of their best players on their roster. And overall, our roster is very similar. This is a quarterback for them to Tyrell Raby, who's got 3 interceptions, 30 solo tackles. But they're a 76 overall team, so they're not much better than us. They have a few more 80-plus overall. This is their tight end here, Holden Willis, who is 84 overall. Got good route running, really good hands actually there. 88 catching, 90 awareness, good ball carrier vision. Doesn't have a lot of strength. Doesn't have a lot of. I mean, he's definitely not a blocking tight end, that's for sure. But he's actually a really fast tight end, one of the faster tight ends I think we've seen this year. 42 catches for him on the season, 4 touchdowns, almost 500 total yards. And there is their quarterback, and this guy is a junior here, so we'll see him for a couple of seasons. Number 11 on their team, it's Nicholas Viciato. I'm saying that name correctly, but he is a fairly accurate quarterback here. 88 medium throw accuracy, 86 deep throw accuracy, 87 short throw accuracy. So, I mean, these accuracy ratings for him are really good. He's got a decent throw power there. It looks like a 90 throw power. He's not a huge scrambling threat. I mean, his speed isn't amazing on him. But, this season, he's had a pretty decent year, over 2,500 yards, 2,600 yards basically on the season here. 19 touchdowns and 9 interceptions on the year, sacked 33 times this season, 230 yards on the ground, only 1 rushing touchdown. So yeah, he's not going to be, he's a field general archetype. He's not going to be really moving around in the pocket very much, you think. And, you look at what he has done this season, and he really has actually picked up his production. He has not thrown an interception since week 8. And he threw, he threw his 9 picks in the first 8 weeks of the season. But again, just like the rest of this team, right now he's playing his best football at the moment and has been really on fire. And then their running back here is Frank Present, a senior for them, and looks like a pretty elusive and fast running back here, an agile running back, not a great receiving back for them. Doesn't run routes very much, and his production this year hasn't been amazing. It's been all right for him. Nearly 600 rushing yards total with 9 touchdowns. So, again, not a bad year for him necessarily, but Tennessee State's offense, we'll see where they are rated in terms of the conference and everything, but they're not an amazing offense here, not an overpowering team, really. Here's our highest rated receiver. It's Amari Kelly. He's a deep threat guy, but 500 total yards for him, only 2 touchdowns, so he's not really the primary guy that you're looking at. They have Stewart there, but Javonte Sherman is another deep threat wide receiver here, and he's got the most receiving yards on the team. He's 96 yards away from 1,000 receiving yards this season overall, 5 touchdowns on the year. So looking to get to 1,000 for him. He's going to have a pretty big day to do that, but it's definitely within his reach. Look at our offense is the national rankings here is back, and all these teams that are ahead of us are ranked and are up here in the top 25. So we are 8th there, it looks like, in terms of total offense in the league. And our passing offense is up there among the top there, but we have a pretty decent run game as well. We're the 3rd best passing offense in the league behind USC and Hawaii there. And, it kind of makes sense. Hawaii is that's their MO. They don't really run the ball very much at all. The Navy defense is the best defense in the nation. We are dead last by a mile here. Last in total defense by 400 yards, basically. Less than that. But still, over 300 yards worse than Arizona State, who's second last in the NCAA. In the FBS level, Virginia Cavaliers have a -15 turnover differential there. So, yeah, suffice it to say, our defense has been absolutely dreadful and terrible this season. And I'm kind of worried about our passing game, our passing defense here, being able to stop. But, Middle Tennessee State offense, that is, they're our 2nd worst in the conference, but they are, primarily a running team. They only have 621 total rushing yards on the season. So, yeah, they're going to be trying to pass the ball more, likely here. And they're about middle of the pack in terms of defense in the conference right here, 3,940 yards allowed a total on their defensive end. And they are worst in the conference in terms of 3rd down conversion percentage, only 31%. So they're all the way down there at the bottom. We're at 38% on the season. So that is something to watch. And, they're an air raid team, and that's definitely what they've been able to do and lean on, and they're pretty good in the red zone. Not as good as Liberty. 72% is pretty ridiculous there for their conversion percentage. But, the 32 run zone trips, they are 2nd in the conference in that category. And Shane Perry going to be starting in this game, looking to finish the year with a positive touchdown interception ratio, almost at 1,000 passing yards for him. And his, he started 4 or 5 games now at this point. And Keon Owens, nobody near 1,000 receiving yards. And it looks like Owens is going to be our leading receiver, or leading actual wide receiver, is Eric Rivers, who got a touchdown last week, had a really good game last week, actually. 591 yards total, 21 yards averaging, for him a game, or that's a catch, actually. And his average yards per game, 53.7 there. Josiah Myman got his 2nd touchdown of the season last week against Kennesaw State. Look at our defense here. Cole Gustafson is not graduating, but Giovanni Davis is graduating. He's going to be leaving. Jeremiah Passmore is leaving. Elijah Anderson Taylor is also leaving. He's a senior. So there is definitely some seniors on our defensive side of the ball here. Jamal Potts is a senior. He's going to be leaving and graduating after this game. He's setting the FIU record in terms of interceptions in a season overall. And we have a couple of running backs. Keon Owens is in danger of transferring from us, and Lexington Joseph is a senior as well. So we do have some seniors that are going to be playing in their final games here tonight, and we'll see, how these guys finish off. Can we finish the season a, slightly unsuccessful year, really, but can we finish it off in a positive way? And can we make this sting a little bit for Middle Tennessee State of not allowing them to get to a bowl game? That would be pretty awesome, and I think it would be a good way to end the year, and it would be a good way for us to bring momentum into next season here. And they have Peasant going there in motion on the first play of the game, and they hand it off to him for a first down. That might actually not have been it. Peasant, that might have been their backup. Running back here, but on 2nd down and 5, Idioto's back to pass. He's going to go over the middle, and he's got a completion there. That is number 13, Javante Sherman. We highlighted him before this game started. Now on 2nd down and 6, Idioto dropping back to pass, and he had an open receiver there, but he overshoots him. Might have been, that might have been Javante Sherman there again, but now it's a 3rd down, and pressure up the middle, Giovanni Davis comes up with the pressure, and he gets the sack. Good play by Davis. That's his 7th sack of this season here, 7.5 for him on the year. And man, I don't know why that offensive lineman dropped so far back to try and block Davis there, but Davis was able to just go up there and knock that quarterback down. 446 yards of offense per game for your FIU Panthers here on the season. And there's Josiah Myman in motion as we give the first run of the game right up the middle to Keon Owens. Here, 103 attempts at 416 rushing yards for him this year. Only 3 total touchdowns. Does not have a rushing touchdown yet this season. As there's another run up the middle. That's a gain of about 4 or 6 really there. I think on that play now it's a 2nd down and 8 here after the defensive stand. And Perry is looking over the middle. He's going to find Eric Rivers over the middle for a nice grab. That is a 21-yard catch right there by Eric Rivers. The catches for 50 yards last game on the stick pattern there. He was open. Good window fitting that into there for Perry. And he's going to find Ross Fournette, I believe that was there on the edge, to make the catch. And the offense here is moving a little bit. 2nd down and 5. Another run. And this is another good one for Keon Owens, who breaks off of a defender and gets about 6 or 7 more. And he has been really awesome on this first drive of the game. Like how we've been able to run the football here early on. In this one, jet sweep on this play to Joseph, and he is inside of the 10, near the 5. That was actually Shamar Lawrence there, getting that on the jet sweep. 3 touchdowns on that play that he's been able to get this season. And now it's a 1st and goal for us here on the 7. We're passing it here on 1st and goal, as that one is thrown to the outside, and that was a dangerous throw there. Nearly, it could have been easily intercepted on that play. Now it's a 2nd down and 7. Back to pass again is Perry. He's moving around a little in the pocket. He's now going to the end zone, and he's got Eric Rivers again for the 2nd time on the drive. This one is in the end zone. 5th receiving touchdown for Eric Rivers here, the junior, and I'm glad that we're going to have him for one more season here. But a great pass by Perry to the back of the end zone, and the catch is made. That was a huge play, and that'll get us on the board first here in this game, 7-0. 6 minutes to go in the game here, 3rd down and 8 again. Or 3rd down, another one, and that throw is trying to get it to the tight end, trying to get it to Holden Willis there, but Willis was not turned around, it looked like there, and that ball falls incomplete. So another 3 and out, another punt as we throw it to Owens here out of the backfield, and he gets a gain of 9 on that 1st down play. 5 minutes here in the first quarter is all we got left. First down now. We're going to go again to Owens here. This is a screen, and that's a good catch there and a good gain. I'm able to slip kind of out of some tackles and gets a gain of 5. So nearing midfield now is FIU here. Gene Perry is hot. He's got a hot streak on him right now. And on 2nd and 5, he goes over the middle. There he is again. Eric Rivers making more plays in this first quarter as he gets 20 more yards on that catch. 20-yard reception for Rivers. 3 catches for him and a touchdown already. A huge play there. 67 yards for Perry on the day so far. And once again, FIU's offense on the move here. And there's a wide open Josiah Byman there on the shallow route. And he gets all the way down near the 10. That's a catch, and that's another gain there. 15 yards or so. And Gene Perry, that's over 1,000 yards passing for him on the season. So first down from the 11. It's a run. There's Jamoy Lawrence. His first carry of the day. And that was Alexis Joseph. I am getting confused with these running backs sometimes. You know, it's the last game of the season. You'd think I wouldn't do that anymore, but that was a good run by Joseph. First time I think we called his name today, and there's a run for Jamoy Lawrence up the middle here on first or second down and goal, and he scores the touchdown. Jamoy Lawrence is our go-to back when we're in the red zone like this, and when we're near the goal line. This is the guy that we go to, and more often than not, and he's got his 12th rushing touchdown of the season. He's going to be the main back next year, probably. You know, we're going to have one guy graduate, and we might have one other guy transfer, so he's going to be taking a bigger role probably next year for us. And our defense so far, again, is not really allowing Middle Tennessee State to do much, but this is a big run right here by Peasant. That's easily his best of the day. It's only his 3rd carry total, but 13 yards on that run right there. So 2nd down and 10 here, man in motion, and it's a screen pass to the tight end, and he shakes off a tackle, gets a gain of about 7 there. Holden Willis with a grab, and now it's a key 3rd down here with, you know, under a minute and a half to go in this first quarter. That's been dominated by FIU so far. Play action, throwing it over the middle. What a play right there on the defense. That was a ball knocked away. Great play there, number 2, and man, that was an awesome play, knocking that ball down. Well, actually, he didn't knock the ball down, but he did, you know, he put the kind of some pressure in the wide receiver's face, and he ended up dropping the ball, but still, good effort there on that one, and the punt will sail out of the back of the end zone. So far, Middle Tennessee State's offense hasn't gotten much going, and our offense has looked really good today, but that pass is broken up. Good play by Devin Curtis there on the defense for Middle Tennessee State. And 3rd down, the longest 3rd down of the game so far. We haven't gotten down the chains that badly tonight, but there's a throw over the middle, and it's caught. But Ross Fournette is not going to get to the first down marker because we have to put the ball away. So first quarter almost over here. Vidiato back to pass, trying to move around in the pocket, and he gets taken down. Giovanni Davis there to apply the pressure again. 2nd sack of the first quarter for him. He's got 8.5 total now, and this is a great start for him in his final game here at FIU. And yeah, the pocket collapsed pretty much immediately on that play. Now it's the 2nd down and 15. Vidiato going over the middle. He's got a catch there. That's a man completes to Keelan Stewart. As that'll be the end of the first quarter. First quarter dominated by FIU here. 109 passing yards, 43 rushing yards, only 3 for Middle Tennessee State. This, you know, they just have had the ball a few times, and they just have not been able to move it very well. They've only got a couple of first downs total today, and more pressure on the quarterback, and another sack. That time, it is Eddie Walls, the 3rd, getting the pressure. That's actually his first sack of the entire year this season. But, I mean, again, the pressure getting to Vidiato. He's not getting the ball off quickly here, and for the 4th time already in this game, I think Middle Tennessee State punting it away to us. that was a decent return, actually. Sets us up at about the 40-yard line. Now we lose a yard on the first down play, and that screen pass, I mean, perfectly covered right there. Jalen Jackson took us down behind, or we got a gain of 1. But now it sets up another 3rd down and 10 here. Harry back to pass again. He's going to Dean Patterson on the curl, and he's going to make that catch to get the first down. Right at midfield, the gain of 11 on that play from the 50. And a little bit of a shorter throw, and it's another reception for Patterson here. And I like how we've been able to use him a little bit more. They obviously got that huge 90-plus yard touchdown reception earlier on this season, and then he kind of disappeared from our offense for a little bit. Now he's back in the offense, making an impact, and that is a deep ball and another catch for Ross Fournette. And, you know, he hasn't made a ton of big plays this year, but we're calling his name often in this one, and he's put together a really good start to this game, as there's a couple of Middle Tennessee State players kind of coming in there. Hughes is one of them there. Parker Hughes coming in for the sack. Now it's the first one of the game for us, and on 3rd and 13, pressure up the middle, they blitz to safety, and we cannot, we can't complete the pass in time, and we throw it away, basically. So 4th and 13, we are going to have to settle, but that's a good kick there by Chris Freeman, and we do get 3 points at least. So 17-0 start here, and I do have to kind of explain what happened here at this point in my recording. I stopped the recording at this point, and I think I was doing something else. I had a phone call that I had to take or something, and so I stopped the recording here, and then I went back into the game to play it again, and I thought I pressed record again. I thought we started the recording again, but apparently I didn't do that, and I didn't realize that I didn't actually keep the recording, and I didn't actually record into the game until the 4th quarter. So this is a really bad look for me here. I mean, at this point, I should not be making these kind of mistakes anymore, but yeah, unfortunately, you guys missed basically 2 whole quarters of play here in this game. But, after we scored that field goal here, I'm just showing you some of the bigger plays that happened in this game. And one guy stood out here for Middle Tennessee State. That's number 87. That's Keelan Stewart, who we didn't highlight going into this game. He's their 3rd string wideout here. And on this play, I mean, a huge 70-plus yard score. He's just running a seam, and nobody accounts for him out of the backfield, and he takes it all the way to the house. So a 70-yard touchdown right there. And we get the football back here. 3rd down and 6. We had 6-yard carry. Then we went for it on 4th down and 1 from the Middle Tennessee State 39-yard line. We worked it all the way down the field, and inside of the 20, and then a 17-yard pass to Simon. We nearly got in the end zone. We got down to the 2, and we ran it with Shamari Lawrence in for a touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And so we did respond after that long touchdown play by Middle Tennessee State to get back in the end zone, back up by 3 scores, back up by 17. And then about 5 plays later here, it's Keelan Stewart again, another long touchdown here to him, 78-yard touchdown on the last drive, and then a 78-yard touchdown here on this play. And again, it's the same situation. I'm not sure what coverages we're calling. I think we're calling a cover. I think we're calling a cover 1 robber type of deal here. But he's running a seam, and it's almost the exact same route, basically the exact same play that just happened that you just saw. And he's wide open, beats everybody, and gets all the way into the end zone to score again. So this wide receiver here for Middle Tennessee State was giving us a lot of issues in the first half of this game, and we would not score anymore. I mean, there would be Nicholas Vitiato would get a big pass play to Keelan Stewart here, but they wouldn't end up actually scoring on that. We sacked them at the end of the half. So it was a 24-14 game for us going into halftime. We had a 10-point lead. We got the football to begin, and we ended up, we ended up driving here on this first possession that we had. We had a big pass to Nezaviah Burris. I believe it was on a screen there, wide receiver screen to him. And we get all the way down to the 15-yard line, Middle Tennessee State, and we kick a field goal. Chase Gabriel. Chris Freeman is the kicker for us in the UConn dynasty, but Chase Gabriel kicked another field goal, his third one of the game. So at that point, we were up 27-14. Then Middle Tennessee State got the ball back, and they didn't do anything with it here. They had to put the football away. We got the ball back here again, and we were trying to put together a drive, and we got down to midfield basically, and then Sheen Perry threw this pass that ended up being picked off by Jalen Davis. And let's see what this play looks like here, as it was play action, and Perry kind of backing up in the pocket, trying to make something happen, and there really wasn't that much to see. There wasn't an open guy. I mean, Josiah Lyman should have probably thrown it to him here on this play instead. I waited a little bit too long to try and throw it to Ross Fournette, and number 12 was sitting there in the backfield and made a play on it. So that was a pick, and that set up Middle Tennessee State with prime field position here on this next drive. And they got it inside of the 40 here on this drive, trying to do something, but on a 3rd down and 4, there was an incomplete pass, trying to get it to Sherman. So we did not give up a touchdown, and that was a huge stop by our defense to not give up a touchdown in that situation. And so they got a field goal out of that. And then Sheen Perry had a 33-yard passing play right here. This is the final play of the third quarter when we got the football back. And at this point, we were up 27-17, I believe. And Perry here was scrambling outside of the pocket, has his man, has the running back wide open on the angle route, and he gets it to him here as he's going out of bounds. So big play right there to our running back for 33-yard reception there. And now we are into the fourth quarter. And so we scored right off of that. And we ended up going up by 17 again here. We had a 20-yard pass to Josiah Lyman, who once again nearly got into the end zone, didn't actually get in. Then Shamoy Lawrence got the football again, and he rushed it in for his third touchdown of this game. He's now at 14 rushing TDs this year here as we were in the goal line. And you know who we give it to when we're at the goal line in that spot. And we gave it to him here. So went back up again by 17. And then what just happened here right before I started recording again, I realized I wasn't actually recording, was, you guessed it, another really long pass play to Keelan Stewart. And again, running a seam here, just running straight up the middle. I mean, nothing fancy about any of these routes that he's running. He's just running it up the middle, and our coverages get blown up. And, I mean, look at how wide open he was on this play. It was a bad pass by Vediano, a good catch by Stewart. He had to, turn around and make this play, but he caught it here. He had enough speed, enough space to get all the way into the end zone. That was a 67-yard touchdown reception here. So some blown coverages by our defense has allowed some monster plays. 63-yard touchdown for Keelan Stewart. And you see there's the numbers there. 323 yards so far. A touchdown and a pick for Sheen Perry. 39 yards rushing there. Josiah Lyman has had a great day. 7 catches. He's over 100 receiving yards today. I don't know if that's the first time we've seen him with that kind of numbers, over 100 receiving yards. But, yeah, we got to find a way to stop this guy here. Number 87, a junior, deep threat guy, only a 69 overall, the third-rated receiver, but he's got 10 catches and 297 yards, 3 touchdowns here already in this game. So, we're up by 10 here at this point as the fourth quarter is just basically getting underway. And there's a give to Keon Owens, who, we're trying to get him some more rushes. He's got 66 yards here on 10 attempts, so 6.6 average is good. We've been able to run the ball pretty well and effectively, I think, in this one. As it's a 3rd and 1 and short yardage, we give it to Lawrence, who's got a gain of 3 or 4 to get there. 16 yards, 3 touchdowns, pretty crazy. Perry now back to pass again here, and he is going deep. The ball knocked away, and it's picked off. Devon Curtis with the interception off of the deflection. And Middle Tennessee State is going to get the ball back right here at midfield. And that's a case of Gene Perry just trying to force something where there really wasn't anything here. Threw it into double coverage, trying to go to Ross Fournette on a deep route, and Devin Curtis, 5 solo tackles, and now he's got a pick. And now, Middle Tennessee State, they've been trailing this entire game. They haven't had any chances really to grab momentum. In this one, that's a run, and Frank President just has not been able to do much in this game for them. A loss of 2 there on first down. Now 2nd down and 12, and they're going to the tight end out of the backfield, and he's got a huge play right there on the seam, and he just takes it all the way to the 20-yard line. Well, a gain of almost 30 yards on that play. So now Middle Tennessee State is on the move. They're trying to only get down by 1 score. They've been down by multiple scores basically the entire game, as that's a throw out on the flats to Javonte Sherman, and we kind of called some more, deep zone, and he just ran underneath all of it. Was wide open. So 1st and goal here, and it's play action, and guess who it is? On the outside, it's Keelan Stewart again. 3rd touchdown, or 4th touchdown of the day for Keelan Stewart. Unbelievable game for him, and he now has over 300 passing or 300 receiving yards today. And now all of a sudden, FIU is only up by a field goal here. This becomes an absolutely critical drive. That's a catch, and a great tackle there. You saw Eric Rivers being picked up and thrown to the ground. Basically, that's his first catch since the first quarter in this game, I believe. That's a throw over the middle. Good catch through traffic. Another grab for Ross Fournette. He's putting together a great game. And we're chewing clock right now. We're taking this clock all the way down as much as we can. We're going to try to give the ball here and run it. As there's actually Joseph for the carry. He's got 45 yards on the ground today. 2nd down and 4. We give it right back to him. He is going to gain a gain of about 6 or 7. New set of downs to the 36-yard line. That was Shamar Lawrence actually getting the game there. 2nd down and 10 here, and trying to get a screen pass off, and that play got kind of blown up, a little bit messy. The running back kind of got stuck to a defender there. Now this is a 3rd down and 10, and this is a monster play. Play of the game here so far, and we're going to Fournette, and he's got a 1st down! Huge play by Ross Fournette. 69 yards on the day. That's the biggest play so far. As now there's only just about 2 minutes left in the game. You gain a gain of 4 there on 2nd down and 9. 3rd down and 5, 2 minutes to go. A 1st down here really would hamper Middle Tennessee State. And there's Gene Perry. Doesn't have a lot of leg, but he takes it outside the pocket, and he does it himself, getting the 1st down. What a huge play by our quarterback. And we give it to Lawrence, and there he goes into the end zone for the 4th time today. And he's putting this team to sleep, and that just about wraps this game up, as FIU is going to take a 2-score lead with 1 minute 50 seconds left on the clock. That was a monster drive. Exactly what you wanted to do if you're FIU. You get the ball with about 6 minutes left. You take it all the way down to a 150. 1 timeout for Middle Tennessee State. They use it, and there's a throw, and there's an interception. He threw it right to him. CJ Christian, his 1st sack of the year. And the defense coming up with a huge play. That one, that play almost seals the game for us. So, wow, the senior here, his last game, and what a play to end your career on right there. I don't really know where Vidiano was trying to go with the ball, but it was right to him. And on 3rd down and 12 here, we're just kind of setting up the field goal for Chase Gabriel and wasting away all Middle Tennessee State's timeouts. And we do that. There's less than a minute to go in the game now. That field goal is good by Chase Gabriel, his 3rd make of the day. Now at this point, we're back up by 17 again, like we've been almost this entire time here today since the 1st quarter. And Vidiano's trying to force it here, and he's going to throw it right to our best defensive player in Hezekiah Mathis. He's got another interception. 5 for him now on the season. And that's a good capper to what has just been a fantastic season for Hezekiah Massis, who is a junior. So we could honestly declare for the draft. He's an 86 overall. He is right on the fringe of, maybe being able to be drafted in the later rounds. Not sure if he will declare for the draft or not. Hopefully we have him back next year because he is an awesome playmaker on our defensive side. And that wraps this baby up. FIU wins it here against Middle Tennessee State in their final game of the season. And yeah, Kalen Stewart, oh my goodness. One of the best games I've ever seen from a wide receiver in this game here. Over 300 passing yards and 4 touchdowns for him. But it ends up not being enough. I mean, Middle Tennessee State could not run the ball, and their defense played pretty poorly in this one, and 2 key turnovers there at the very end. Still this one for us. So FIU ends the season on a winning streak. They get their second win here in conference play this year, and they will end the year 4-8. So that is the record that they had a year ago. That is the exact same record from the last year. So, technically not really an improvement record-wise. And, I definitely think there's a lot that we can go forward and build on. I mean, we need this defense to play a lot better next year, and we'll see what happens with our defensive line. I think we're seeing some seniors graduate from our defensive line, and I don't know how much better our defense is really going to be able to get next year. We'll see. Recruiting hasn't been that bad for us. We've been able to get some decent recruits here, and hopefully here in the last few weeks we'll be able to get some more. But this is one of our best rushing games in the entire season, and that's something that I definitely want to emphasize going into next year a lot more of, is just being able to run the ball effectively. 152 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, but 395 passing yards in this one for us. So he threw the ball really well, really good on third down. Conversion percentage today, 9 of 15 in that area, 100% in the red zone. That doesn't happen too often for us, it seems, and we're even on the turnover battle. So obviously want to keep the turnovers down going into next year. But, we were able to get to, our defense forced an absolute crap ton of turnovers this season. Kind of a ridiculous amount. I'm not sure how really realistic the number of turnovers that we got this year was. But we also dominated time of possession in this one. We had almost 20 minutes, over 20 minutes of time of possession on Middle Tennessee State in this game. So you look at Gene Perry, a junior here, and a good game for him. 34-49, 369 passing yards through the air. 1 touchdown, 2 picks. So unfortunately, doesn't finish with more touchdowns than interceptions. But I liked what I saw from him in the last few games of the season. I think he was overall more consistent than Keon Owens was or Jenkins was for us this season as a starting quarterback. And they had Nicholas Vidiato, who was actually really good this game. I mean, he almost had a 200 quarterback rating, 22 of 33, 404 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. But also keep in mind that Gene Perry is thinking about transferring. He's going to be probably a pretty low chance of us being able to, convince him to come back. And so that means that Jenkins, if we can't get Perry to come back to the team, Jenkins will probably be the starter next year. He's only going to be a sophomore, I believe, next season. Or a sophomore or a junior next season. And, there's the running game for us here. Jamarta Lawrence, 4 touchdowns. That was pretty impressive. And he's going to take over as our main running back next year, probably. Unless we get, somebody else to stay. Unless we get Lawrence or Owens to stay for us here going into next year. But we'll have to see about that. Josiah Myman, his last game here for us this season and in his career at FIU. And he had a really good day. One of his better performances of the entire year. 100 receiving yards for him, 7 catches. Ross Fournette, the junior as well. I mean, he'll get some more playing time, more action. I like what I saw from him. He had some good catches and a good day today. Keon Owens, 6 catches for 63 yards. Eric Rivers will have him for 1 more year. And I like his kind of big playmaking ability. I think he has a lot more of that than some of these other wide receivers. He's a very good route runner, and he has a touchdown in this game. He had 5 of them overall this season. Dean Patterson, 4 catches, 27 yards. He's definitely going to be taking a step up in our offense, receiving-wise. And you look at Stewart, we already saw what his numbers look like. The player of the game for sure. And I've never seen a wide receiver pop off in the way that Stewart did in this game. I don't know how many yards he finished out with. If that got him to a pretty big milestone. But he's only a junior, so guess what? We're probably going to see him next year when we take this team, when we, play this team again. And we're going to have to somehow scheme for him and try and defend him. Javonte Sherman, he's also only a junior. And, he only had 4 catches, only had 24 yards. But the senior tight end for them had a really good day. 55 yards and a 29-yard reception. That was his longest. Or 32-yard reception was his longest one of the day. For our defense, Jamal Potts, the senior, graduating. And he had an awesome season for sure. Elijah Anderson-Taylor had a really good season as a middle linebacker. He is going to be leaving. Jeremy Passmore is also going to be leaving. So, our defensive end, I think, is going to be pretty depleted. You got Passmore, he's a starter, 2 sacks for him in this game. Finished with 8.5, or not 8.5, but he finished with, finished with a good total. Giovanni Tavis finished with 8.5 sacks this year. Eddie Walls will be coming back to our team next year here. And he had a sack as well. CJ Christian, he's a safety, and this is his last game here, and finishes it off with a monster interception. And then Ezekiel Massis with another interception as well. 5 for him on the season, and he had 5.5 sacks. So just a complete all-around player. Should be, up there for maybe first or second team. Definitely in the conference, he's going to be probably a first-team guy, I would assume. And then you look at the defense for Middle Tennessee State. Jalen Davis had a pick, as well as Curtis, and Devin Curtis had a great game for the middle linebacker. 17 total tackles, 7 solo tackles, and the interception. Shakai Woods, half of a sack. I don't know how this math ended up working out, because you look at this here, and they only have technically 1.5 sacks total as a team. I don't really know how that got worked out, but that is how it all pans out here. And I already mentioned Devin Curtis with 17 tackles. Jalen Jackson had 12. Harris had 11, and Myers had 10. And it's not a good sign when you have that many safeties and corners getting, double-digit tackles for you. But here's a look at this. Here's a look at this scoring summary that you saw for us. And yeah, we got that. We got to that 17-point lead. Tennessee State did come back a little bit. It was 6.5 minutes left. They were only down by a field goal, but we had a really good long drive, and then our defense did the rest for us. So that is a look at this year for us. 4-8, and we've had 3 straight years now. This team was 4-8, in 2022 and 2023, and before we took over the program. So no increase, no win increase on the win total from this year to the couple of previous seasons. But I think this team, it's going to be a gradual process, and we do get a Daniel Mugalehi here, a middle linebacker that commits to us. And I will just say, I'm going to explain the reason why behind this here in our off-season video, which will be coming out soon. I don't think it's going to take me that long to edit that one. But these are not actually going to be the same recruits that we actually get. I did try and match up the positions as best as I could. I guess I'll tell you now what happened. I did end up deleting the save file for this dynasty. Unfortunately, it was an accident. I created a new save point, and then I deleted the save point, and I ended up deleting the original save file as well. So what that means is the recruits are not going to be the same exactly. They're not going to be the same names or the same attributes or anything like that. Now I did try and get the same amount of recruits that we got in this game in year 1, basically, and in the same type of positions. I'll explain more of that in the off-season video, how I did that and how I handled that. But you look at the Week 14 conference games, and Western Kentucky beat Jacksonville State. That's actually that's a huge game right there for in terms of what the conference looks like. Sam Houston beat Liberty in that conference game as well. So we'll have to see what the conference championship looks like here. But, again, we look at this recruiting board, and it's kind of, again, a moot point. I mean, I'm not going to touch on this too much because, again, these are players that we're going after. Maybe you did end up, I think we would have ended up getting them all, basically, if I did not mess up with the save file here. But, yeah, again, trying to just, save the commits that we did end up getting and trying to make them as close to what we got in the actual game here in this season. But, so for recruiting, it just started out really slow. We didn't get a lot of early commitments, and we were losing out on a lot of these battles with, FIU, FAU, and Florida, and some of these other teams. And so that was a problem for us in the committing department. We do get another commit here, a two-star corner from Florida. And here is the championship games. And Jacksonville State, despite losing in the last week's game, they will be playing Western Kentucky for the conference championship game. They are 9-3. I hope we can play Western Kentucky next year. That will be a fun game. Western Kentucky, one of the better teams overall in our conference here. And Arizona, Utah as well. Western Michigan, Miami. Coastal Carolina, Texas State, Tulane, and Memphis. UNLV, Boise State, which was what it actually was in real life. That's pretty cool. Alabama, Georgia, and then Michigan and Oregon for the Big Ten championship there. And then Virginia Tech and SMU is the ACC championship game. But that is going to do it for me here in this episode, and that'll do it for the regular season games of year one. And again, unfortunately, the stats, I want to look at the stats, and I was going to do that. But I'll explain what happened in the beginning of the offseason. And that'll be in the next video for this channel. The next video on the channel will be the bowl game that we played, that I played with the UConn Huskies. That was against Liberty. And so we'll highlight that game next time for you. And that'll be coming out fairly soon. Again, it's just the holiday is really busy being, at home and away from college and everything. So the video uploads have been less consistent, and that is just what happens when I'm at home and when during breaks and for school and stuff like that. But hope you guys, keep with the videos and keep with this channel. And I will hope to see you around next time. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, Lucas Johnson. And I will see all you guys in the next one. Have a great day, and God bless.